On the scramble, Jacob does the blue V. He starts off by solving this center, which sets up this edge to be inserted with this. So he does L prime, R, U prime, R, rotates, and gets a sledge. So some thoughts on your solve. The only issue I had with the way that you executed was the way you did your R move was like this and kind of involved a lot of regrips. And so I would recommend trying to fix your regripping. And other than that, the solve was fine. I think you can try working on increasing your turn speed. Maybe try grinding out some sledges and hedges to practice your L4E cases. The only other solution I saw in the scramble that was a little bit better in my opinion is green, where you solve the green yellow and the green blue very similarly to how you did your V. That goes like this. And that just sets you up here so you don't really have to rotate, but it's the same solution relatively. On the scramble, Jacob does red. He sees that there's this bar solved and that when he inserts this edge, it's gonna solve this edge to the center, and then he can just insert this edge because that edge will be oriented correctly. So that just looks like this. It's completely 2-gen. So your solution on the scramble is pretty good. I probably would have done the same thing. You can do TL4E on this, but doing it from this angle is better. The only thing I would work on is trying to increase your TPS, because the way you executed that, your finger tricks seem pretty outdated. So I will try to learn flick moves like this and this from the front. Doing stuff like that can sometimes be useful. And also work on your R and L moves, because you kind of struggle with that a bit. On the scramble, Jacob does red. He sees that he can solve this bar in one move and then insert this green red edge like that. And then he just gets this easy L4E case with no AUF. So the solution on the scramble was pretty good. Only thing I could have seen different is, I guess, green. You can do something a little weird like that, but that's not that great. I think your solution was the best. So some thoughts about your execution. Your tips are kind of slow, and I think you should try working on finger tricks for that. I wouldn't use my thumb for this tip. I would try using the index finger. And also try to work on your L4E execution, because it can get a lot faster. On the scramble, Jacob does the red, green, yellow top. He sees that this edge is flipped, this edge is oriented, and that this edge can be inserted while solving that edge. So it looks like that, and then he gets this case, which he solves like this. And then he messed up a little bit here, but he ends up doing that. Rotates and gets a sledge. So your algorithm for that top was a little weird. The normal algorithm I would use goes like this. And in this case, that would have led to a skip. Also, I don't really recommend doing stuff with solutions with like D moves, because that's kind of hard to do accurately and it's pretty slow. Another solution you could have seen is on yellow. I see that I can solve green and blue, and it also sets up a L3E case. And the way I would do that is like this. And then I just get that. On this scramble, Jacob does the red V. He starts off by solving all the centers with a B move, inserts the blue piece, inserts the yellow piece, and then for L4E, he solves it like this. Okay, so first thing with your L4E algorithm, it was not great. The standard alg for this case goes like this. and it's a lot faster. From this angle, you can also do something that's similar, like this. You can also do this. And all of those are faster than the algorithm that you used. Additional solutions are, after you insert that edge, you can see that inserting it this way gives you a bad, not as good case. But if you insert it the other way, you'll solve this edge, and then that gives you a sledge. Other solutions you could have seen is that on yellow, you can just do a sledge, and that solves your V, because this edge needs to go here, and then that edge will be solved. And then that makes it really easy to one look, because these pieces are going to stay the same, and you should be able to recognize what case that is. So you can do it like that. And if you know ML4E, you can cancel both AUFs as well. So going like this. Other things you could have done on top first is do this top, and this case is pretty simple. Just goes like that, and you get this. Doing that top also is really easy to one look, because the L3E case that you can kind of see here is going to stay the same. That looks like that, and it's just doing the sledge from the side. And so then you can do that, and since you know the L3E case, do it without rotating. Alright, so things I have for you to work on are mostly going to be related to your turning and your finger tricks, because your finger tricks are not that great, and I think learning new finger tricks could really help increase your TPS and stop you from locking up a lot. Also, I think it's time you start learning better L4E algs, and maybe start learning multiple algs for the same case, so that you can try avoiding AUFs as often. And finally, I think you need to try working on your V solutions and your top solutions, because they could be a bit more efficient, and you are missing some easy ways to block build in your solves. So yeah, just try doing some FMC for that and watch a lot of walkthroughs, and I think you should be on your way to getting sub 3 officially.